rebel forces from space. And the angels, which had the 7 trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of the trees were burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. Here's a little show of biblical proportioned force. Hail was a frequent bombardment weapon, but it is not the simple hail that you are thinking of. Each of these hailstones weighed a talent or more. The Hebrew talent is equivalent to 93.75 pounds. Mixed into the hail were certain chemicals that, when freed and mixed with oxygen, produced a compound similar to, but much more powerful than, napalm. And the second angel sounded, and as it were, a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood, and the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died, and the third part of the ships were destroyed. It should be noted at this point that there are now 3 main forces on earth: the collective, the Doma, and the rebels. These verses deal with the destruction of the third force, the rebels. The preceding verses describe the annihilation of the strongest rebel fortress. This was located underwater and therefore shielded from the first bombardment. Its destruction was seen as essential to the final victory. Once taken, it would leave the rebels no place to retreat to. It was destroyed by a thermonuclear missile launch from orbit. And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood, and many men died of the waters because they were made bitter. This is great. You're going to love this one. After the sea base was destroyed, an assault was launched against the main land fortress of the rebels. This was located near what used to be the great city, or U-R. It was at the Tigris and Euphrates River junction. The fortress was taken and became the Doma headquarters and staging area on earth. The star that they're talking about is, of course, a goddess, but they wanted you to know without a doubt which goddess. The name of the star is Wormwood. Wormwood is the name of 4 plants. It is used in place of the word bitter, hence the reason the waters became bitter. The goddess Isis has another name. She is called Mera, or Mary. The Hebrew name for bitter is Mary. This was a very bloody battle, but in the end, Mera conquered. Many rebels lost their lives as a result of the rivers coming under the bitter one's control. And the fourth angel sounded, and the third part of the sun was smitten, and the third part of the moon, and the third part of the stars, so as the third part of them were darkened. And the day shone not for a third part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld, and heard an angel flying throughout the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe, woe, woe to the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels which are yet to sound. The smoke from the battles filled the air. There is a brief lull in the battle while the Doma fortified positions. The staging area is intense with activity as the four main Doma armies gather together. Revelations 9:1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of God in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions, and they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings were as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails. And their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. The star that fell this time is the Norse goddess Hel. She was the one in charge of the mining pits. What follows next is an attempt to accomplish 2 basic goals: to gain enough time to reinforce and resupply all Doma forces, to fight a hit-and-run type battle against the rebel forces. It was hoped that it might cause them to surrender and thereby avoid a major battle and enormous loss of life. The part about a king over them is ridiculous. The commander of these scorpion forces was the Egyptian goddess Selket. There is a statue of her that was found in Tutankhamun's tomb. It is one of the 4 goddesses guarding his tomb. On top of her head is a symbolic headpiece. It is a scorpion. One woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. And the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the 6th angel which had the trumpet, Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed.